Hello, fellow Whovians, and welcome again to another episode of The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. I'm the host and the showrunner, and today we will be reviewing 2 episodes as we move forward to the 60th anniversary taking place sometime in November on Disney+. We are... Did you hit the skip button? I guess not. I don't know. We are going to be, and then don't forget to say hi in the chats. We will be reviewing 2 episodes back-to-back, The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances, both written by Steven Moffat and directed by James Hawes during Christopher Eccleston's time as the Doctor. We are also being introduced for the very first time to John Barrowman himself. This is the first appearance of Captain Jack Harkness, and it will, thankfully, not be the last. So we're going to be reviewing it. For those of you who are not familiar with our score, this is your first time. We do 1 through 10 TARDISes, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and all the numbers in between. And yes, we do hack and break up TARDISes along the way. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and bring on the team. First of all, let me go ahead and introduce who's going to be reviewing it. And don't forget to go in the chats. Melanie's going to be taking care of your chats today while we review The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances. Let's go ahead and bring on Mr. Dave Chapman. How are you doing there, sir? Lovely hat. What do you got?
Thank you. I'm hey, look, there we go. Now I'm live. I decided I'd go live on the Instagrams for a minute because I can. Okay. Just for kicks and giggles.
I know, and I feel so. It's such like I'm treating such like a bad child when it comes to Instagram because I don't even mention it. But we are.
Okay, so does Mark. So does Mark Zuckerberg.
Yep, and Mark Muncie, are you my mummy? We're already off to a good start out there. So how you doing there, Dave?
I'm doing great. Busy as all get out as always. I've been streaming way more than I usually do. So I'll just turn my Instagram over here. A game called Oros. I'll show you that later on, but. I've been hanging out on the Twitters, or not the Twitters, the Twitches, doing all the things there, and other than that, just moving along, doing the thing.
Awesome.
Reviewing Doctor Who games and reviewing Doctor Who episodes, and
all right, you ran out.
Yep, pretty much. I got nothing else. I'm just blip.
Check out Dave Chapman if you love board games, therathole.ca, and such awesomeness. And especially, speaking of such awesomeness, here we go, transferring over to the Candyman for his return. And something that Melanie definitely loves on the top of your head. Go ahead and flaunt it.
Yeah, I just had to wear this just for Mel because I know how much she loves Chicago Bears. Yeah, I'm good. I'm live from the UK as normal. And yeah, everything's okay. Nothing much to say from the land of the UK. So this should be a good episode. I've got a lot of things to talk about on this episode. So I can't wait to dive into it.
Well, we did mention her name. And speaking of awesomeness, oops, we can't unmute her mic. Oh, no. I wish we had saw that on camera. There we go.
I had it on my head and I had it balanced beautifully until then I unmuted. Because I don't have, there you go.
That's better.
I don't have a hat. So
get your screenshots. Here we
Actually,
are.
that actually matches the flag.
I'll just put the coaster over my eye. There we go. Hey, everybody.
Right. You look like a buccaneer with that on your eye.
Yeah, and I've been Instagramming live as well, so I thought that was hilarious. When all of a sudden, I saw somebody put their phone up. I'm like, hey, yeah. So
I have to go Instagram live too, as well.
So I have people on Instagram live watching me in the background. Although I have my one earbud in here and the other one's like nestled.
See, I did it
so people can hear. I'm so sorry. I'm such a professional outfit, aren't I?
I did the Instagram one point, remember, and Dave, people were complaining because they only heard my side of the conversation. Nobody could hear. And then Dave put a posting and said, hey, if you want to watch this, get off Instagram and watch this on YouTube or Facebook. So it's amazing out there.
So right now,
we'll get to your stories in a minute. We'll get to those stories. No, I promise.
Okay. Bye.
You got it there. Pieces of melee, but just have the scores ready. I love it down there. Speaking of which,
here we go. Segue time, people.
Yep, more awesomeness. Really?
Okay.
They're gonna say sneaking it down there.
He did a good one.
Yeah. Speaking of awesomeness,
Husband's Talking More or Less. Check him out on his channels out there. Kevin Really and the S is for S show. How you doing?
X is for show. X is for show.
Okay.
X is for podcast, which was Nico's X-Men podcast brand that branched further into comics that has now exploded even further out into just a lot of random stuff. We did a bunch of coverage about Marvel last weekend. It was actually a pre-recorded stream. It was an experiment. That was fun. But we got a lot of really cool stuff coming up. I'm excited to cover a bunch more Star Trek because I'm super Trekkie now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's exciting times. Oh, super Trekkie now. Oh my gosh.
Super duper duper Trekkie.
Yeah, so I love the Spock reference in this. Yeah.
I love the background. Yeah, I love the Spock reference, and we'll get to that out there. Love your background. Speaking of backgrounds, if you love the thumbnails, Kevo puts these together for us. I basically just say, Kevo, here, I give him like 3 things, and he just pulls a rabbit out of the hat magically within seconds. So if you want to have awesome thumbnails, this is your man right here. So definitely thank you so much, Kevo. And speaking of thank you,
do what I can.
Segue over to the Rebonamagon, the hashtag guru.
I thought you were saying it was a thumbnail or something.
Yes, you are. Why are you wearing a mask?
Okay. I'm on
Instagram. Fun.
No my God, are we just pulling Instagrams up now?
Well, he's watching my Instagram live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm...
And that's why you need the mask?
You know what? Here we go. Hang on a second.
Are you my uncle?
Okay, we're ending live, and
I'm going on Instagram. I'm just going to Instagram here.
So sorry, Uncle Albert.
We're such a professional outfit.
Yeah,
look at this. Live 10 minutes in.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. I pulled up your Instagram so I can follow it on there.
Oh, Lord, he says, here, I'll wave to you.
Nice.
Is this Inception? We don't know what this is. We have no idea.
I'm the only one not on a phone for once.
I know.
Mark, Kevo, I do love your t-shirt.
It just has to. Yeah, this is an Inception, Andrew.
I got from Target.
Inception out there. All right, so we are going to be reviewing.
All right, bye, guys. And now.
The Doctor Dances and The Empty Child. Of course, everybody's going to give me the rating. The lowest, how we do this is because we got a 2-parter. They're going to give me the numbers 1 through 10. Again, 1 being bad, 10 being great, and all the numbers in between. We can even split TARDISes in half. But the lowest score will go first, and then followed by we will work up to the person with the highest score. So without further ado, I will start with, I'm going to start in no random order. Dave, how did you rate The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances?
Did I freeze or did Christian?
We don't know what happened. It was just a long pause.
That was just a long
it was
pause.
just-
No, Christian was talking, and then there was silence, and I don't know if it was on my end or his. Anyways, 7 across the board.
7 across the board down there.
While y'all two were figuring it out, I'm going to request to join the Reverend Amagon's live, and that way we can both Instagram live together. Now we're getting to Inception. Sorry.
You know, we're trying to see what I'm YouTube in the front now. We're got Instagram, but we have an Instagram channel. It is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. So there you go. If you want to, for some reason, I'm not on it. We're not producing live, but go for it out there. Mark, tell me your ratings. The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances.
Okay, so I definitely like the Empty Child better than the Doctor Dances.
Okay.
So I'm going to give the Empty Child a 9.
Okay.
And the Doctor Dances probably about 7, 8.
Okay.
Call it 7.5 because I know you like dealing with the 0.5.
7.5. Okay. Melanie, the Doctor Dances and the Empty Child.
Oh, you want me to actually work now? That's going to be a 10 across the board because I'm going I'm not doing it to be that person to be going last like I had done the last time. No, that's my true to God rating. 10s across the board.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And I'll
there.
explain it later.
The Reverend Amagon. What do you rate these 2 episodes? Child.
Because I don't want to go first or last, I went with 8 across the board.
Okay.
Smart. See, it's like chess. We're playing a game here.
Got it. And is that how it works? We're rating it to see who goes first and who goes last.
We don't have the wheel anymore, which was
I think you should bring back the wheel, Christian.
You gave us a system and the rats figured it out.
He gets mad that we start working a system.
We figured out the maze, Christian. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, speaking of figuring things out, Kevo, what's your rating on these 2 episodes? Good night.
See, because that's the thing. Now I'm nervous, and part of I'm a weirdo, and I say 6, 7, but I can easily be talked up to a 7, 8. I just.
It's only because you don't want to go first.
It's also because I was being harsh today, and I don't want anyone to think I was being mean to this episode, and I wasn't. I love this episode.
I mean, if these are legitimate criticisms and you've got something that makes you feel this way, then nobody's going to go in there and go, "What's wrong with you, man?" But yeah, you are going first after the commercial break. So
I'll go first, teacher.
Got it.
Flip the camera.
Scared. What? Wait a minute. What are you 2 doing?
Dave, which one are you in?
Around. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I like. There we go. And we just aim the camera.
Oh my God!
What is happening?
Okay,
I have lost control of the show. This is what's happening. Everybody's on my.
Okay, which one are you? Hold on,
Dave's on mine.
I'm on Revs. And I'm on Revs with my personal one because for some reason.
Because I'm looking for you and I'm like finding you. Okay, hold on.
No, it's on my personal one for some reason because for some reason it wouldn't let me do it on my rat hole one.
Oh, I can flip here. Okay.
But I'm here.
When we return, let them do the Instagram thing. When we return, we will start reviewing this episode of The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, become part of the legend.
Kevo looks horribly just unamused at us.
I usually just.
I've sent my request to join.
I just want to see you resting.
This is hilarious.
Resting Kevo
I'm
face.
preparing. I know I'm on deck.
We'll be right back.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
It's free and it doesn't access.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night, we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Yeah.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. Yep, I'm on the Instagram live too. Might as well just do it.
Yeah, but Kristen, you have to actually ask and request to be part of
the good
Tom's
one
live.
Yes, yeah, because
can't
that's
sit
the
with
good
us.
one. No.
Well, how do I do that?
You have to go into his and your live.
Yes.
Start his.
Yes.
So do I stop the live?
Yeah, just stop your live.
Okay, I'll stop my live. I'll be right back, folks. Hang tight.
There.
Let's see how this is going. There you go.
We are all just completely ridiculous.
We're all here right now.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Okay.
We're so bad.
I'll share that.
This is what happens when you have people who just don't understand.
So now what do I do now? I go to...
You have to go to Tom's and request.
Okay. Hang on.
Awesome sauce.
Oh my God, why is this not muting?
It sometimes will do that. It doesn't like muting when there's actively a call on.
So there we go.
Oh, here it is. Found
And
it.
then I request.
You request to Tom.
Plus,
Yeah.
And then Tom.
request to join.
20 minutes. There he goes.
Okay.
Aww.
This is very disturbing.
I'll
on a
wave
level
back.
I can't-
Really?
It's just Dave waved to me like, ah!
For those who are watching, you're welcome or I'm sorry as appropriate. There we go. There we go.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Yay. So does that mean we have to continue? We can't talk. So we can't talk about Christian on the Instagram live anymore.
No.
Well, I got to turn down my volume because I can't hear anything. But there
Me
you guys
too.
are.
No.
There we go. There we go.
It's terrible.
We're ridiculous. All right.
Okay.
So we were going on.
Okay.
Who's going first?
Yes, because I'm going last. I'm going last clearly.
Okay, so as far as the rating's concerned, well, the show's just gone to a new level. Anyway, Keva, with a total of 13, will be going first on his review of The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances. Keva, talk to us, brother. Why was it a little bit lower than everybody else's? And what did you find fun about it? What did you find not so fun about either one?
If I was judging it harshly, it was mostly just because A, I was in the mood, and B, I was judging it by the rubric and just sort of everything that Steven Moffat has done after these episodes.
Yeah.
And how many of his tropes are evident even this early. And that's a lot. But overall, really good. You know, I feel like my rating is ultimately like low of 6, high of 8. There's a lot of really great stuff. I had mentioned before, now as a super Trekkie this year, all of a sudden, I love the Spock reference, especially because this aired the month that Enterprise ended. So I never really thought linearly about how Doctor Who sort of took over the television sci-fi baton in that regard from Star Trek after 18 years at this point in pop culture. And yeah, just all very cool. I feel like it was a good use of World War II. I felt like the first part was maybe just a little bit too chaotic. Is also one of my issues with it. I love the introduction of Captain Jack Harkness, obviously. This guy over here behind me, we all do. As someone who was a young queer man at the time, having this character introduced and everything that Russell T Davies did with him and continued to do through his run on the series was just super cool. And, you know, John Barrowman, he is daddy. Yeah, that hair is adorable. He doesn't even do his hair like that in Torchwood when they go back to World War II. He's like, nope, never again.
If I didn't know that was him, I wouldn't know that's him. He's aged gorgeously, but he looks nothing
so
like
young
him.
there.
Yeah.
He could be like 35. He could be early 30s, and he's pushing 40.
Mm-hmm. And I agree that then in this one, he was introduced being really full on in that 1940s hair, the whole thing. So that way you weren't sure that he was actually a time agent, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
And that he was committed to the I'm going undercover in this time frame. And he didn't really do that again, to your point. But yeah, he's such a baby face.
But they've kept a lot of it in his style, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I also, to harken back to a previous episode where we were covering Adam and his time in the TARDIS, I feel like Captain Jack is sort of the antithesis of that character.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we were trying not to spoil too many episodes far in advance, so I didn't want to say too much at the time, but like that's sort of where I was okay with Adam being such a failure and being such a flash in the pan, because I know we're getting a secondary companion who is a success. And the only reason he leaves the TARDIS is through normal Dr. Chaos. And we get to see consequences, and we've still seen him as recently as like. So it's just, he's just a really great character. And he really means a lot to so many people. And it's really cool to go back to his introduction.
I forgot to mention, thank you so much, Kevin, just in case people have never seen this episode.
Would you even have handcuffs? Spoilers.
You just like to play the clip.
I just like to.
He does.
I very much like that one. That was one of my favorites, and I didn't want to put it on when I first cut the spoilers thing, but I'm like, once we stop doing specifically needing that Eccleston one, I mean, I suppose we could use him again, but no, I had to. That's just the best one.
I think it's better because it's truncated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only that. This is a show that I just remember being at the convention and the woman shouted at me because I started talking about Survival, which took place in 1989. And she goes, spoiler, I'm watching that season. I'm like, you mean I can't talk about something that's 30 years old? Really? I can't.
Nope.
So we had to work around that silliness out there. Oh, so speaking of which, the next person up is Dave. At 14.
I'll stop playing with Instagram filters, I guess.
At 14, just a point up higher than Kevo. How did it go for you? You went 7 across the board on both episodes. Tell us a little bit about what you think there, Dave.
Overall, this is definitely on the upper end of things for all the reasons that have been given and will continue to be given, I'm sure. It was a lot. Anything that brought it down for me is either a straight up just personal. I don't love the creepy episodes. It went creepy, but I appreciate very much that it went creepy because it does harken back to the stories of the kid hiding behind the couch, watching the Daleks for the first time because it's the 60s and Daleks were scary. Stuff like that. But again, it's very hard to remember and remove this first season from the context of the next 15 years. For example, we're reintroducing the Doctor, as we've said almost every one of these episodes. We're reintroducing it to a new generation. And so it makes sense that Jack might not know who the Doctor is because nobody else knows who the Doctor is except for all of the old farts. But as you go on, the Doctor is probably one of the most infamous characters in all of time. How does this time agent scammer not know who the Doctor is? Everybody knows who the Doctor is.
Wow.
I'm even going to go one step further, Kevin, because not only does he not know who the Doctor is, but but Captain Jack is a time agent. You don't think at one point he would have come across Star Trek?
Yeah.
At all? Anywhere? It didn't make it to the future or something like that? I just like, you didn't even know what Mr. Spock was. And I thought it was a cute little throwaway line, but it's like, wait a minute, he's a time agent. He's been around Earth. Somebody had to tell him about it, or he had to come across it.
Exactly.
Kevin, you're a big Star Trek fan now, so
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That worries me.
That's so funny.
I did love her little muttering as he said, "Well, I'm just going to scan for alien tech." After she spent how long trying to say, "Doctor, just scan for alien tech." It's like finally a professional.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of really like that part of the storyline with Captain Jack. I absolutely adored because how can you not? The dancing was great. The music was a perfect choice. I had to go back and double check because that's such a famous song. And I had to, is that the same song that's in the movie? No, it's not. It's similar, but I'm like, where I think I know that song from is actually from MASH. I think they used that a lot in the officers club dancing to that song. So that's why it was so familiar to me. But I'm like, that was appropriate music. I mean, of course, which as they usually tend to do. Really, one of the interesting things, of course, the Doctor has visited this era before and managed to avoid himself. We get him there with Churchill and the Ironside Daleks. And he goes back. When was the other time? There was another time they went back as well, and I forget when that was. But yeah, so it ties in kind of weird with all of the rest of canon, as much as you can ever call anything Doctor Who canon. But that's the only reason it probably didn't get higher than me was little details. I know Mark's got some little tidbits in there as well, but that's all it is little stuff that they ironed out later on.
Can you by any chance hear my Instagram going off? I just want to make sure, otherwise I'm going to turn. It won't allow me to turn the volume all the way off.
Yeah, no. When you're on a call, it generally doesn't.
Yeah.
We can probably stop being ridiculous now. Oh, what did I just do?
You typically just mute yourself, and then if everybody else is muted, you're not going to be doing.
Yeah.
I've abandoned it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm probably going to abandon it now too.
I started focusing and realizing that
sorry,
Kevo's
Tom,
bringing his A game, so I might as well at least get up there to his C.
I got a trivia question for everybody in the chats. This is a fun trivia question that I always put out, but I want to talk more about her. So for right now, I will address her as Mummy while we're talking. But the question is, and this is one that I put out, what panels? Are you my mummy is not the question. What is Mummy's real name? So we will refer to her as Mummy. Yep. What is her real name? I do want to talk about her because she was an incredible actress. She really nailed that part, especially in the scene where I forgot his name out there, and I'll look it up out there. But this gentleman right here, the sweat off my brow, the sweat off my brow, and I just love that scene. And she just took it and owned it. And just really took him to task, and especially about the history that he had. And it's like, yeah, you have enough food over here, but you could feed the whole town, but it's just you and somebody else who knows about this food, and I know the reason why. So everybody in the chat, whoever gets it first, is get bragging points about Mummy. What did you think about her as a character? And I'm even going to go push this a little further. I wish she had at least ridden the TARDIS a couple times.
Gotten at least a spin, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, actually.
The character or the actress?
The character.
The character.
Oh.
I found the character a little bit grating.
More than getting a spin, I would have at least liked to have seen her somewhere else again.
Yeah, I didn't need to see an adventure with it. Just know that she got a John.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been cool if she and her kid went into the TARDIS to see there was more out there. And
I would make the argument that she doesn't need a jaunt in the TARDIS because she's already seen what's out there because it rescued her child back to her. And she saw all those people. And I mean, it was like, just this once everybody lives, especially when you're living in England during the Blitz. Everything that is gone, and she's literally picking up orphans. She herself is picking up strays to find food that's just people were like, oh, bomb shelter, off I go, quick, let's go eat. I think
but people, she's gonna think he was an angel or a ghost or something.
True.
So
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see her meet a future doctor, period appropriate, but not know, and the doctor not say.
Oh, she just comes back.
And you don't even they don't even have to reference this episode. They can just make it very obvious. The time frame fits the character. If you know your canon, you know who that character is, and within a day it will go all over the internet. But don't reference this episode. The doctor doesn't say anything. Do something nice. Have a nice, warm, fuzzy moment that after the fact, everyone else goes, oh, that was her. Like the kid from Iron Man 2 that shows up at the
so if Shooty just all of a sudden post-war, like it's the 60s, he sees her.
Yeah, 15 years. It would have to be 15 years later. Time appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
her and her son.
The character she plays at the moment, I feel she's like basically like a street urchin, and if you put that in modern times, that's like equivalent to a chav, which is what Rose is. Rose is quite a chavette. And to have the same two sort of style people in the TARDIS, I don't think that would work well.
No,
that's just my opinion.
I just like her foil with Nine, especially when he says something to the fact that his nose has magical purpose, magical principle things or something like that.
That one's so big.
She just turns and goes, "But your ears have to say," It's just like that was just good. But I just like that he was a foil. She was a foil to him, and kind of pushed him back a little bit.
And sharp.
Yeah, very sharp.
Very hard.
But I can understand I can understand why Mark says she could be grating at times, and she was a little bit. But I think that to me was where she was. She had to grow up fast. She had a child at a young age. She she's in the middle of the war, so the environment around her put into these circumstances that I'm sure that if they weren't there, this would be a totally different story altogether for her, or character altogether for her, for the experiences that she has. She had to grow up fast, and she became an adult in her own right, I think, in my opinion on that. But I don't know, I really loved the character. I really think it was a great center point, and the ending was just appropriate the way that it ended for that. So without further ado, let's see who's up next. The next person will be the Reverend Amagon with 16.
What?
She was very. Andrew says she was very written and acted. I think he meant to say very well written and acted, but no.
She was very written and very acted.
Yes. Think of that. She tried to be a mom to everyone else while trying to keep her own child a secret, and her own pregnancy a secret, where the child came from and everything. Her finally feeling free to tell the truth was touching. Yep. And I love how she does everything to figure things out. But the doctor figured her out too, which I thought was very interesting. Tom, you rated this a 16, just a couple points up. Tell us where did good and where did it not so do good.
I thought it was. Well, I just didn't want to go last. But
shut up. Why?
I've been first, I've been last. Let's go in the middle now.
Okay.
But I did try to nitpick in my brain about, made the good things. It's hard. You have the World War II, you got a war drama, the horror in it, comedy, happy ending, giggity. Rose. The idea that I read an article, someone said that Moffat hates Rose. That's why he had her split off and almost die. As I read,
He made a really snarky comment. Like, I've seen the video of a really snarky comment he made about Rose at a Comic-Con once, and I think it was just him trying to be funny. But it can be read like really aggressive, the way that he says that he literally strands her in another universe to get rid of his clingy girlfriend. Like, it's verbatim what he says on video. So
And
it's
it came out
not people
quick.
are making it up. And again, I think he's just being funny, but like it's just that really aggressive humor. And I think too aggressive for some, too aggressive
He's
for me.
got it.
But
Oh no, he has that sense of humor. I saw him. What was it? In what was that episode? The Curse of Fatal Death, and they did a behind the scenes, and they were referring to one of the Daleks and the Dalek eye stalk, and he rebutted saying, "You may think that's my eye." I mean, that was. I was like, I think that's just him being silly and stuff like that. But
yeah,
let's go ahead and continue, Tom, with your rating.
Well, leaving her to go on by herself, and the doctor's like, well, you know, I've had enough. In my mind, it was like, well, I told you to stay in one place, but you didn't. So, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this. That's what I saw it. She almost dies. And then she gets slipped a Mickey in the champagne.
What?
Like, okay, Jack. So I don't know what you're talking about here, but, you know, I feel very faint and I'm going to fall asleep. So I don't know. So maybe that's the negative parts of it. Saying, okay, you're slipping her a Mickey. He's like, oh, I'm just going to wear this Union Jack T-shirt during the freaking war, and who knows what's going to happen. It's like, okay. Well, the doctor just tries to solve the other mystery of where this thing is. She's getting in trouble. So that kind of brought it down a bit. But the positive, oh my God, the transformation of the mask, that was freaking scary. Oh, yeah, my mommy. Mommy.
Oh, you mean the mask transformation?
The stretching and the cracking of the bones, for God's sakes.
Wow.
Oh, Dr. Constantine. The poor old man.
The only thing creepier than that was the melting Nazi in
oh God,
in Indiana Jones.
You actually have the
that was terrifying.
I was gonna put my head on the body, but of course I have the other figure.
I assumed. That's a really good likeness for that
figure.
Yeah.
As Plague.
Hey, Mr. Bill. Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting there. We're going to go to the commercial break in just a few moments. Melanie, if you want to pull up some chats, we'll go ahead and read what everybody else had reviewed and give their comments.
I would have put them up if they were there. Go to commercial.
Okay, we'll go to commercial break when we return. Hang on 1 second.
What an episode.
I was too busy with the Instagram. When we return, we'll long gone too dead, and we'll become part of the legend. We'll be right back.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Hi, my name is Jamie Engel, critically acclaimed author of The Toilet Papers, Places to Go While You Go, a short story collection suited to match your bathroom needs. Only have to go a little? No problem. I've got stories under 1,000 words for you. Far from poopin'? I've got you covered, with stories over 5,000 words to keep you occupied, while your latrine stays occupied. And that's not all. The Toilet Papers is endorsed by the fine folks from Squatty Potty, the stool for better stools. But don't take my word for it. See what Dookie the Squatty Potty Unicorn has to say on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. Well, I've got to go, but you can grab your copy of The Toilet Papers on Amazon in ebook or print, or get an autographed copy from me at therightangle.com. And don't worry, I promise I'll wash my hands first. The Toilet Papers. You might just stay in the bathroom longer than you need to.
And we want to congratulate Jamie Ingle, and you can visit on her website. She is in the production. I think they've wrapped it up, but she's in the production, if not finished making the movie called Just Jake, and we want to congratulate her on that. She wrote the script and everything, and hopefully we'll bring her on one day to discuss that. So yeah, she has now made a movie called Just Jake. So congratulations to Jamie Ingle, and thank you for being one of our many sponsors. Take care of us on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. Again, we are discussing our ratings for the 2-part episode, The Doctor Dances and the Empty Child, reversing that. And then this episode. So again, 1 being not so great, 10 being awesome, and any number you want to pick in between. We're going through our ratings. And Melanie, if you want to throw a few chats up, we can just read them. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Here,
we'll move on.
Throw this one up, and then throw this one up, and then throw this one up.
That's good. Hold on. There you go. An agreed solid 9. Dan Holyfield from the Last Man Standing on his podcast. I rate these 2 episodes a firm 9. So we got some really good high ratings. Think about it. I gave them each a 9, touching, funny, and creepy on all in 2 episodes. Andrew, 9. Everybody's giving it really high marks.
Christian, can you bring up Andrew's message?
Which one?
Bottom.
Overall.
Go for it, Dave.
I'm getting it. I clicked on it. Who's controlling chats right now?
I'm not touching it, Dave.
Car baby.
Andrew says, overall, I see these 2 episodes as near perfect. Hence, I gave them a 9 each, not a 10, because of some very minor issues. The gas mask, Are You My Mummy reveal, Captain Jack, the freaky hospital, and Everybody Lives. Pretty damn awesome. Christopher Eccleston rates these and Father's Day as his favorite episodes he did on TV. So awesome. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. When I hear about ratings and people reviewing these 2 episodes, I don't really hear anything bad about them. So, there we go. The mummy is in question is played by actress Florence Hoth.
I wasn't going to answer it. I'm on the show.
Oh, well, known famously for her childhood leading role in 1997 fairy tale A True Story. She is now retired from acting. Oh, okay. Wow.
Here.
I want to help. I'll just start posting facts.
No, that's fine.
Do it. I'll click on them.
Since everybody I haven't seen anybody answer. Yep, Nicobat finally got the answer. Yep, her name is Nancy. I admit I had to Google it. Yeah, everybody had to Google it. It is one of the toughest questions I put out there, and all the
so now he's reading questions without me posting them.
Well, we're going to try. We'll try. And Andrew Moore says Colin Baker's also said that these episodes are his favorite of New Who. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and continue our review. And next up for bids would be just by a 0.5, the Candyman himself, Mark Robinson.
I think Mel should go first.
No, you got 1.5
No.
under me.
Mel
No,
said
I got
no.
2 10s, brother.
0.5. Just
0.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very quick on this because I want to go in a little bit of deep dive on some of the stuff. So, I found the CGI is aging a bit, especially on the Spitfires. The Blitz itself didn't feel like it's 1941, and London didn't seem to be on fire as much as it should be. The buildings were still quite standing still.
Mm-hmm.
It had that feeling. A couple of costumes were a little bit wrong, which I'll go into deep dive in a moment after Melanie.
How dare.
and
it's Rose's shirt. Just talk about Rose's shirt.
Yeah, Rose's shirt. No, I'm not talking about Rose's. I'm talking about Jack as well.
Oh, see, I thought it was her shirt because it was she referred it to as a Union Jack, and it's back then it was just Union flag.
Right. Okay. I'll get
that part. I knew.
If we bring up Cavo for me on the screen, so people can see. Right.
Yay.
He is wearing the United Kingdom Union flag, not English flag. The English flag is just the red cross in the middle with a white background. The blue triangle is the cross of St Andrews, and that represents Scotland. And then they've got the St David's, I think, which is the red cross of St Patrick's, which is the red diagonal cross, which makes up the Great Britain of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is its proper title. It's the Union Jack when it's flown at sea. Otherwise, it's called the Union flag. But everyone in the UK just calls it the Union Jack.
Okay.
So the official title of the Union Jack is only when it's at sea. However, on Rose's shirt, if we bring back Kevo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On where the E is in England, the red line is at the bottom, which is the right way up. If you watch this episode, it looks like her Union Jack's been done by a very, very cheap knockoff Union flag. Because all the lines are all out of position.
What, really? Find a picture of Rose, put it up now.
They also screw it up on Captain Carter's the what if version of Captain Carter in MCU. Pretty sure on her they screwed up her.
Have you got another picture of Rose?
I'm trying to get a better photo. Looking, still looking. Damn it, her arm's up in that one.
Not so easy to find these pictures. All
right.
So while Melanie's trying to look for a photograph of a flag,
I'll find one. Hold on.
Right. So on this picture here,
you can kind of see. Yeah, the white should be where
red. The red is at the bottom, and the red should be at the top on that side.
You're right, because on Kevo's, and let me remove.
No, that's Dave.
Why are we looking at Dave? Stop there. Okay. So if you're looking at the corner, if you're looking at the corner, whether if it's on the top left, which should be the one that's where you would fly it. If you're going, the left side of the flag is the top when you're flying it vertically. Mm-hmm. That red should be on the left of the corner or the top of the corner, and the white should be to the right. If we're looking just as a big old stripe. But yeah, if we look over at Rose, somebody bought their costume. I found the wrong photo again.
She probably got it from Henry.
Okay, how's this one?
That one, perfect. It's you're right. It's
I have the episode loaded. I just needed to go take a screenshot.
Yes.
You got a good one? Nice.
And even the thickness is off.
Yeah.
Wow, they went to what in the name of Chinese manufacturing?
The cheap knockoff shop.
What?
That shirt did not. Wow. Yeah, that's wrong. Holy crap.
That's wardrobe malfunction number 1.
Ooh.
Number one.
Number one.
Give me more.
Number
one. I'll do that after you go now.
I'm excited for 2.
I know.
So other bits.
So is Jamie.
I love the pace of the first episode. Even though it
you gonna need me again for this?
Thank you for wearing that shirt, Kevo. It was amazing. I found the pace of the first episode really fast, and I like that. It was like loads of action. I love the gas mask scene. Again, some of the gas masks wouldn't have the mouth of the front piece. Some of them would have it on the side. That's another little tiny mistake. I wish they'd done better job on the CGI airplanes.
Okay.
Bought my shirt from Hot. Probably, yeah. You're probably right there, Dan.
Oh, she used to work at Henrik's, right? So I imagine she probably got one of those shirts that didn't quite make it, or they had the wrong design. Or
yeah, you're right. You're right, Andrew. Andrew makes probably much from 66 Arts by Skills.
Jeez.
Andrew makes a good point. Saying lots
the
of young
second
women
episode, I wrote it down. It felt a little bit slower. It was like, okay, this is going to be predictable. Okay, and I found it just a little bit okay. what's going to happen now. Yep, I know it, and that's why I rated it down. So one of the main things I had was the CGI. It's aging a bit. Love the horror of the mask. I love. Is it Richard Wilson who played the Doctor?
I'm unsure.
One Foot in Grave.
Doctor, yeah, Richard Wilson.
Okay.
Richard Wilson. He's done a famous actor. He's always very good. He's done good roles in One Foot in the Grave, Merlin, and in this 2 episodes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll hand it over to Melanie to take over from what she point of view, and then come back and we'll go through the second wardrobe malfunction. And if everyone knows what the wardrobe malfunction is, please list it in the chats.
Terrible. Okay, so I guess I'm going now.
You are going now,
or are we doing a commercial? I wasn't sure because Mark actually executed a perfect segue, and I got confused.
No,
So I was like,
I did commercial breaks. I mean, I could throw more up there.
I had no clue. I got confused. Okay, so I gave it straight up 10s across the board because I believe that for every series of a Doctor, first Doctor's run, they should have, like, for me, that penultimate, like, this is my 10s. These are my best of the best episodes for that run. And for Eccleston, even though he only had the 1 season, it was a 10. I loved both of these episodes. I thought they flowed perfectly. I thought it had a beautiful arc in that they introduced a character. They introduced a lot of characters, and then you're not realizing, oh, this isn't just like Nancy or anybody else that you're like, okay, for this arc you're going to introduce a character and then they go away. You're introducing Jack Harkness, and you know that this was something that they were planning on. Oh, we're gonna be using him, like, for a lot of things going on. So this is a main character introduction. And I thought it was flawless. I thought it was fun. I thought for a 2-parter, it was done well, where it had a great beginning, middle, cliffhanger, and then end. So that if you only watched 1 episode, if you tried watching just the second episode, you'd be kind of like, okay, I feel like I got into the middle of the story and I'm kind of missing a lot of things. What else am I missing? And if you watch if they only got the first one, you would be dying to watch the second one. I thought it was beautifully written to complement one another, that if you did watch it as a standalone, each one, you were definitely going to be kind of a little confused, but you would know, hey, I gotta go watch the other. Kind of like if you're watching in the middle of a movie, if you've watched this enough times and it's on, you're like, oh, I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to watch this and I'm going to enjoy it, and okay, I have to go back and see what I missed. I liked the fact that it was a period piece. I liked that we finally had some more time travel-y in it. I'm not saying that he didn't have a lot, because let's say they had already gone to they already seen Dickinson. You already went back and saw Father's Day. So yes,
the 80s, so historic.
Right, yeah. But at least from a costume designing standpoint, and from the fun of, from a production design standpoint, of having all the correct kind of at least nuances that's fully realized. I really liked that with this. I can't nitpick myself way through World War II history. I really can't, to the point where I can point out different things, but I know enough where my dad watched the History Channel a lot when I was growing up, so I kind of know enough, I guess. Put me at a pub night trivia, and I'm finishing towards the top. Let's just say that. But I really liked how this was the one where the Doctor got a win. I love the heck out of the look, just this once, Rose, everybody lives, because we just had Gwen asterisk. So her ancestor with the Gelf, I can't remember her name. The Victorian one, the Charles Dickens, and that she was gone. We lost, so many, even the people that I'm trying to think, all the other previous episodes, and like my brain's trying to go through them in a hodgepodge, like it's a hurricane right now. But a lot of episodes before this, there were significant characters that were introduced and died.
Her name is
So-
Gwyneth, by the
Gwyneth. Okay.
Gwyneth.
So we have Gwyneth gone. We have Father's Day, so that she gets to see, she gets to experience her father dying again. She got to experience the Doctor dying, kind of. I mean, she's there. What the heck's going on? As far as she was concerned, Doctor died and got ate by the little time, the Reaper Wraith thing. So you're having a lot of episodes where the stakes are there and they're high, and there's character death. So here he's getting one where once again we're going to have a massive amount of people dying. You're going to have introduced characters dying, and just this once everybody lives, he gets to have a win, especially with this character. From what we knew, he was all PTSD'd out, from the Time War and all that kind of stuff, again, as we had thought him to be at this point. We don't know about the War Doctor just yet. So this is amazing. And it was for me a great blend of, you have time traveling, where we have our history kind of having fun here. We have our sci-fi. So you're getting the nanogenes. So you're getting a little bit of the future. And then you get Jack coming in saying he's also from the future. And you're getting a character that's amazingly complex, and in Jack you're getting a fun little dynamic between everybody in this. It's just I thought it was, even when they were in the I have two things I'm trying to say at the same time. I loved how the Doctor kind of established I know you've got a sonic gun, or his little his gun, and he switches out with a banana. And then we have the banana jokes now, the beginning of the banana jokes of, it's good. So you always bring a banana to a party. And he's like, when did you do that? And then making fun of him having a screwdriver, which again is very Doctor Who, because how many times his previous doctors have been made fun of having a screwdriver and not an actual weapon or whatnot. So, and I love the other part when he's trying to sonic the concrete, or resonate the concrete. And Rose has just found a chair, she found the wheelchair, and it's just in there, just wheeling around, playing in the chair, and just jabbing him verbally. I'm just sitting here going, who else would have not just done the exact same thing when you're stuck? What else are you going to do? I'm just going to sit here and just do. Now I'm just bored. Now I'm just going to make fun of the guy that's kind of made me stuck in here. I just felt really seen during that episode. Like, that would have been me. I would have been like,
her energy,
okay,
yeah.
Now what? You know what? Yeah, exactly. The energy that she brought to that part, I thought was hilarious.
No care zone.
And then she gets flirty with it. It was like, come on, let's dance. Come on, what? You don't dance? She's just you could see that she's just completely 100% done with it, and she's like, I'm gonna have fun. You know what? I don't care anymore. I thought it was. I love the episode. I love it, and to me it was Rose being Rose. You got to see Rose having that more adventurous streak, having even more of that. She's starting to get more and more confident in herself. The fact that she was hanging from a rope, and that she burnt her hands from rope burn, and that they actually played off the fact that, this hurts, and that the nanogenes, I thought that was good, because how many other types of, we've seen people grabbing things and sliding and all that, and they're like, oh no, their palms are fine.
Yep.
So I could keep going on and on and on. I love this. I love these two episodes. They complement each other wonderfully. And if I never bring these two up to people who have never seen Doctor Who, because if you don't see the other episodes beforehand, you're not going to get the poignancy of Everybody Lives. If it didn't have that, I would say, oh no, this is the episode you need to watch. It's not going to hit as hard when you just came off of Father's Day and all the other ones where someone has died.
I just thought it interesting. You mentioned that he was, and I'm glad you brought it up, because he was mentioning that he was trying to figure out how to get through concrete. And now I'm hearkening to the 50th anniversary when they're trying to get through a wooden door, the three of them. I'm just like, how long is he going to be there to figure out how to get through concrete, let alone a wooden door? I'm just like, okay.
A while.
Something I just caught out there. Just like, wow, that's going to be a couple 100 years to get through concrete out there, brother. Oh, well.
So 10s across the board. I love this episode. Gotcha. Highly recommend it. But you're going to have to watch something else first, just so you get the Everything Lives and really get hit with it.
Extras for Show says early drafts included Jamie's father. who would have silently and anonymously aided Nancy and the orphans, plus the revelation that he is German, would have been an alternate motivation to Nancy's shame. Yeah, that would.
That really pushed the fact why she was.
Third episode right there, just to unpack that alone out there.
Yeah.
So Kevin never knew that. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we're here for. Facts. Sometimes. Anyways. We have come to the end of the radio portion of the show. Thank you for anybody who's been listening. If you want to continue on, please, for those of you watching, whether it be YouTube or Facebook, or wherever you're watching on our Twitter channel, not our Instagram for some reason, hasn't been connected as of yet, but hopefully one day. But please stay for the after party. Dave's has got something to mention out there. Plus, we have a special Memorial Day tribute that we've got out there. Plus, I almost forgot. Let me go ahead and bring these guys up. We want to celebrate some birthdays. Today is Mark Shepard's birthday, Mr. Canton himself, Canton, Delaware. Crowley, better known as, also from Firefly. So I bet he's
Badger.
He's got across the board. He is like all sci-fi as well, and plus the lovely Pearl Mackey, better known as Bill Potts. She celebrated her birthday yesterday, and both of these had things with the Traveling TARDIS. And before I'm going to go to the after party because this is a picture, Mark, you just sent me out there. So let's go ahead and reveal the after party. For those of you watching us, please stick around. We've got some more stuff to do, but only if you're watching on the YouTube channel, our Facebook page, or wherever you're watching this. Everybody in the audio, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to cut off right now. And just in case if you're familiar, want to listen to us on audio, iHeartRadio, Sci-Fi.radio, Odyssey, Spotify, Spreaker, Podbean, wherever you listen to your favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to announce I had to change a number on something. So now we are at 68,000 Whovians. Facebook.com/The Traveling TARDIS. We have gone to 68,000, and that number continues to rise as I'm hoping we get to the big 70 by the end of the year. So, yep, thank you for everybody who joins with out there. And don't forget on like, share, comment, and subscribe. And right now,
a lot of Drag Race.
YouTube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Going into the after party, folks, please stick around. We'll be right back with some special stuff when we come back.
And facts.
And facts. A lot of facts.
Yes.
Here we go.
More facts.
Before you get started, I'm going to bring up Mark. What did you send me out here? Let me go ahead and bring this up.
I want to go get a drink. Is that okay?
No.
I shall hide you. There you go.
Right. Okay.
And Mark, you take. There you go.
Right. Okay. So this is the second wardrobe malfunction. Okay. A lot of people don't know, especially in the US, we have rank structures in our RAF. Okay. And even the Doctor in this episode says Jack is not a captain because there is no rank of captain in the RAF. There's a group captain, or as Jack is wearing, squadron leader, even on his bands. And so in the BBC, we got so many complaints. And after this episode, he changed the rank stripes of what he was wearing to become a group captain. But this is the biggest bugbear that in this episode is only a squadron leader.
But was he in the Royal Air Force? Or
right, that is the Royal Air Force. Yeah, with the link I sent you to earlier on.
Oh, okay.
You won't bring that up for me.
Let me see if I can find them. Hang on. They're probably buried alive somewhere. Buried alive.
Buried alive.
Okay, hang on.
I'm back now. What happened? Ooh.
Someone's buried alive.
This is
what happened to
second.
Stripes?
So this is the second wardrobe malfunction, Melanie.
Okay.
What's wrong with his pea coat?
Okay, what do you call this rank of this person?
Oh, wait, 2 stripes? Am I saying 2?
He's got two thick stripes, 1 small stripe.
He's not. No, he's not a captain.
It's a Starfleet captain.
No, that would be. Wouldn't that be lieutenant?
Nope. Squadron leader. There is no such thing as captain in the RAF.
Oh, wait. He can't be Captain Jack Harkness then.
Exactly.
But the thing is, was he with the British, or was I thought he was?
Well, this is what I'm going to come into in a bit.
Did you want me to pull up the other picture as well?
Which is the other picture. I'll explain because I've done some research.
Right,
so that's the other picture. We just had it off, and you can bring up that link with all the ranks on it, and you can see the website.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me bring up the links. I'm sorry. I'm just pulling up the pictures. Hang on.
Now I'm trying to figure it out. Son of a...
Biscuit.
I have a friend that's in the RAF. I am going to message right now and say, how dare you? You know you're not who fan.
I'm
going to put this in the chat, right?
The US ranks do have a captain in their Air Force.
Yes.
But the British don't. Hence why, in remembrance of the Daleks, what rank do we have?
Brigadier.
I thought it was group captain.
Group captain.
Group captain.
Say it's group captain.
So it's a group captain. But when Christian finally find the link to it, and I'll show you.
Oh, it's in the chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat. That is a group captain.
Do you think that they tried making that and didn't know that they needed to make the extra stripes?
Yeah, they didn't know the rank structure. The costume did not know the thing. Hence, after this episodes, you'll see the difference in his. They ranked him up to a group captain,
so that way he could say he's Captain Jack Harkness.
Yeah,
even though
so
he was American.
The difference.
Oh, I can see okay, now I see the little stripes.
So if you can bring them, once you bring that link up, Christian, you can go through the ranks of the RAF on that webpage.
Well, if you hang on 1 second, because I do have it up, but I have it up in the chat. So let me see if I can bring it up as a site. Hang on.
Just for the record, here. Did this just pop up? Yes, it did. Take that picture down.
No, working on it. Boom.
So these are the Canadian ones. Canadians do have a captain. Well, we're closer in stuff. Like, no, we have no anything to do with the royalty or anything like that. But it is very different in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so scroll down a little bit on this.
Sure. Tell me when to stop.
Okay. Because this goes Navy, Army. So keep on going down, a bit down. So that's the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go down a bit further. That's the Army.
And that's Royal Air Force.
And that's Royal Air Force.
Air Commodore, Air Marshal. That's that.
Sorry,
Marshal, Air
so
Marshal.
So if you can see me on that bit there for me, please.
Group Captain, Wing Commander, Squadron Leader. So what he had... Wait, Group Captain has 4 on that.
Yes.
So they gave him Squadron Leader?
Yes. Because it's 2 thick, 1 thin.
My bad vision. I have to really squint to see that that's a smaller line in the middle. I'm like,
okay, that's what I'm saying.
I think you get the idea.
But
you gotta really, really stare at a man's shoulder to be like, well, who are you?
Back the picture of Captain Jack for me, please, Christian.
Sure, there you go.
Now you can see the 2 thick ones, or 1 thin one,
yeah,
and another thick one.
Yes.
On his shoulder.
So I can see the little thin guy in the middle now.
Yeah.
And
so when people say he's Captain Jack Harkness, no, he may be captain in a different thing, but he's not an RAF captain. The other thing,
it's his boyfriend's jacket.
I just purely wrote it off as
jacket.
He was an American trying to get into, like, he was helping with the fighting in the war.
And yeah, either way, he's an alien, so he's nothing in World War II. Really, he's not even from this century.
Please look at that face. Yep. You tell me people looking at that man's shoulders, except for how broad they are. Thank you.
Well, I thought when 9 says that he's not a real captain, I actually thought he was retorting. I thought he was trying to play him down further than he
be a double meaning though.
That's what I took from it though. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So just a bit of a side note before we get onto the other picture. Right. Okay. So some people who really like to cross play as Captain Jack.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that they have to be wary of is whether or not they wanted to go with the King's crown or the Queen's crown. So the Queen's crown looks like that.
Oh, let me get you.
Okay, big and wide.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the actual proper pips are like that. So at the moment, it's really hard because we haven't had a king until now for the last 75 years.
Right.
So a lot of people are getting these jackets where they've got the Queen's crown on the RAF jackets rather than the King's crown. Can you see the difference?
Yeah, it's like almost like a big arc going up
Yeah.
and over, while hers has that divot where it's like, look, I've got an expensive fancy jewel I'm putting on the top. Oops, it dented.
Okay.
So let me just ask you this quick, Mark. Why do you think the costume designer flubbed?
I don't know.
Because people are human?
Because people have budgets and they have
have
time
budgets.
that they got to hurry the hell up.
And the people might not have done proper research.
And
there's no such thing as HD back then.
Yes.
You got away with a lot
Oh
more
my
stuff.
gosh. Thank you, Melanie. Excellent point.
Yep.
So many things. They had no idea you would see them.
Nope. No one's going to see that.
No, that's fine. I bet you when Doctor Who, the black and whites, now they're starting to colorize them, but people are like, don't colorize them because they were filming in black and white. So if you colorize some of the monsters, they look terrible.
Yeah.
They look awful. They're not even intimidating more because it's just like Psycho was done in black and white with all the music and everything that was going on. It worked well for that. But if you colorize it, it might take away from what black and white did to those episodes.
But no, that's
really disturbing there.
What I'm going to say is, as someone who's worked in independent as an indie film costume design, I have flat out said that line, ain't nobody going to see that. No one's going to see this. And that was back in the 90s, early 2000s. No one's going to see this, even though I knew, if I knew it was a wide shot, if I knew somebody, if they were background, no one's going to see it. I don't care. I got a budget to work within and all this other kind of fun stuff. If it's Doctor Who, and they're not going to think, oh, well, someone's going to remaster this 30 years down the road. We're going to have Blu-ray. We're not even going to have HD. We're going to have Blu-ray, and everyone's going to be able to enhance. Which makes me, side note, wonder the state of enhancing and remastering films. How much is going to be lent into not just artists, but probably even an AI kind of thing, because they're going to have to go through so many minute details to go, ooh, that was wrong. Ooh, that was wrong. Heck, go through Braveheart.
So
see how
many
many
people will be against it.
I know. Use it as a tool, people. Use it as a tool to enhance, and then hire an artist to do the rest.
Like a Superman.
Okay, I can get on a soapbox on that one. I can get on a soapbox about AI. But anyway.
So these, are actual official World War I medals.
Oh.
Yeah. From the Great War. That was my great uncle. And that's the African star from World War II. If you notice on Captain Jack uniform, you had a picture earlier on where he's in the cockpit.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull that up. Hang on a second. It's all the way up. There we go.
So that little thing below his wings, I actually Googled that, and that actually is a proper medal. And that is called the Distinguished Flying Cross.
The one with the horizontal, the diagonal bands.
Yeah, that is an official medal for gallantry, basically.
Ooh.
And it's by itself and no bars. So there's a lot of detail on that, which is quite unusual, but didn't get the rank right, which was a bit strange. However, in the story, whoever researched the story, he said that he's an American volunteer, part of a 133 squadron. Okay, so if you bring up that picture,
is there 133rd?
There is 133rd.
Oh,
which picture? I'm sorry.
The one with the actual 133 squadron badge.
Oh, the one that I had up earlier. This one.
Yeah, that one. So this is an official Eagle Squadron.
That's a King's helmet crown.
That's a King's helmet because it was done in there, and it's the Royal Air Force, and there was the Americans. Because in East Anglia, which covers Cambridgeshire, Norfolk, Suffolk, and Essex.
Okay.
in World War II, they set up loads of American air bases around this area. The reason why is they could land from America to East Anglia, and from East Anglia, it wasn't that far to go to Europe in planes and stuff like that.
Right.
So they set up. So I grew up near American air base called USS Wethersfield, which was original Royal Air Force, which they loaned out to the Americans. One of the most famous ones in England is USA Mildenhall. I think that still is currently American Air Base. But this is where this one here was actually based in Duxford, which is in Cambridgeshire, which is not far from where I live. It's probably about 20 miles away from where I live, where they got the Imperial War Museum. So since it was RTD, wrote the script, done some research on this, and actually confirmed everything what he was saying was legit, which was quite impressive. For most of the time, when you hear, oh yeah, I'm in this squadron, I'm in that squadron, they're like in Antarctica, or that squadron's in desert rats, like Germany to Iraq. And so getting Russell T Davies to actually get someone to research that there was an American.
That's a lot, because right now you have to also remember back then, and it's sad to say back then, my God, do we feel old?
It's true, though.
We are now just used to asking an Alexa device or going to Google and researching it and finding
Wikipedia.
Really look at the wealth that we have on Wikipedia. Yeah. You're right. We had the internet. We weren't, archaic cavemen, but we also had these things called libraries, and you had to go to a librarian into the reference section where you weren't allowed to speak to anybody and be like, looking.
Internet references were not accepted. They were not accepted until that wasn't nearly 2010.
Right.
So the Americans and the British in World War II worked a lot closely together, especially in the Air Force. So Jack was based in 1941 in Duxford, then it's plausible that he was on a mission down to London. Fair enough. And I think that was a really, really good bit about the show, how well they got some bits right, but then it really infuriated me where they got the simple ranking structure completely wrong. So that's why I got it down.
The parts where they were like, "We're going to glaze over this part because you've gone down the rabbit hole." When the person said, when's your call time? Oh, we're going to be shooting that next week, and you see the person with the one hand, just, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to slap something on him. I got to go.
We'll see.
But with most ranks, you can either basically just go on eBay and just buy them.
What's eBay?
Yeah, eBay back then. Ooh, good luck.
Or you go to a military surplus shop.
And with
That's true, those existed.
Those definitely did.
And there were a lot more around in those days than there are now.
You're absolutely nope. That I will absolutely acquiesce, because I remember a lot of people going to, at least here we had what we called the Army Navy stores.
Yeah.
And we still have the one that I used to shop at. I like the pants. They were cool. I like the pockets.
So that's pretty much me done. That was the bugbear that Captain Jack is not actually Captain Jack. He's a squadron leader in this episode.
How dare.
I thought it was I've always played it off that he even says he's a con man. So I'm sure maybe I'm not downing people, he wasn't insulted in the military. He was just using his con, and maybe he threw people off. I mean, he was with that one guy, excellent bottom guy, that little
great first line.
Yes. We knew where we all stood. It's like, yes, we know what this character's about.
So when they upscale these episodes with improved CGI, they can add the extra stripes. Yeah, I mean, that's something that
Lord knows.
Do. Exactly.
Although
it's cheaper
Lord
to do
knows
that now.
I don't know if they're going to actually put the money and do it though.
Oh yeah, who knows?
I mean, I'm still. I watched Band of Brothers yesterday, and I'm still in this because I absolutely love that miniseries. There's still one episode where I'm like, it's an end card, and they basically say that one character, if you've never watched it, I don't want to be a spoiler alert because it's based on real people, but they say the main character for an episode, that this person never returned to America. He died, and I'm like, no, he lived. It's well known that he lived. They just got that wrong, and to this day, they've never fixed that end card to say, Albert Blythe never returned home. He's like, no, he lived a long time. He got home.
And
From D-Day. Maybe we
where
should
was the
change
Band
it.
of Brothers based?
Normandy.
In England.
In England? Wait, where?
Whereabouts? At the same place where they filmed Demons.
Are you talking about filming location? Or are you talking about what are we
No,
talking
real
about?
location.
Yeah. Okay.
They were based in Auburn, which is
Oh yeah,
a
because that's
little
where that was their jumping point.
Yep, that was a dropping point to the UK. They dropped in Auburn in the UK to set up base, which is literally a few hundred yards at Auburn, where they filmed Doctor Who Demons. And when you go to the Village Hall, they have half a section of Band of Brothers and half a section of Doctor Who.
Really?
Yep.
If I had more time, I would go out there and go see it. Okay, no, good to know. Next time. Next
Well,
time you're giving me a tour.
I'm just going to say this real fast because here my review was 8.5 across the board on everything. I love the episode. It's one of those episodes that, well, Doctor Who in general, it's anytime Doctor Who comes on, it doesn't matter if it started or if it's at, 3/4 of the way done, I'll watch it and just have a good time with it. But these are one of those fun little episodes in the two-parter. Gas Mask Zombies, I thought was an interesting take, especially that transformation that we see Dr. Constantine. There were some subtleties about homosexuality at this time, but it played a role in the story. And it, like you said, the best intro line was excellent. Bottom, and I do
He's announcing himself,
right? And I do love the bickering between Jack and the Doctor, going back and forth. There was this there's this now new grove of bananas, good source of potassium,
and you can see the bars to the last conversation better in this one.
There you go.
In this photo, but yeah.
And I do like that you start to see, especially with characters like Mickey and Rory, that you can see that the Doctor has takes an influence in them. And, Jack is having a change of heart that he's going to rescue these people, get that bomb, put it inside the ship. And at the moment, he was like, I always get out of this. But this one time, he's saying to himself, going, maybe this time I don't. Peter saying, the Doctor essentially saves him, but I do love this. It's almost, what is it, Dr. Strangelove type deal.
Yes.
I do love that moment where he's just sitting on the bomb, and it's just like.
And of course, it's stamped with 6'9".
I wasn't even going there.
I
do like that.
You want blatant references. They knew what the character's about.
Right. And I do love that the Doctor, again, like I think you mentioned, Melanie, he gets his win. He gets his win for once, and you get the feel. You don't even have to know the War Doctor to know that the Time War has been a big burden on him. And this one win, this moment in time, this one time where he can just go, you know what, I could take these nanobots and just take them and save somebody, save a town, and save an entire town for the bombing out there. I just love that whole scene where he just grabs a kid, picks it up, and hugs him, because you can feel the relief of the Time War. It's like this once, everybody lives. I don't care, and it's just so beautifully done. The only thing that kind of started the reign of things, and I think it was this episode, is that sonic screwdriver now becoming more of a tricorder. I didn't know if it was a flashlight. It was like, what's he doing? It's just supposed to open doors now. And then, this was the start of my leg gets grown back. Yes. Yeah.
It starts to do that sometimes.
Yeah, that was a beautiful scene between Dr. Constantine and that lady who got the lady back and said, there's a war going on.
Maybe you lost it.
Beautiful, yeah.
Did you miscount?
And the scene right here, the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers, go to your room. I love that.
Even Jack looking at him like, that's not gonna. Oh my lord, it
It
worked.
worked.
Some people don't like it. I love it too. It's
That is
just
an
fun.
awesome cliff. Yeah, it's just simple, and it's just like, what else would you tell this kid to stop him? Go to your room. And he stops it. And he goes, yeah, I didn't think that was going to work either. But it was just, I loved it. It's just the way that they handled these two episodes. It's campy. It's fun. You love bringing in, the John Barrowman character, Jack Harkness, and I always felt like he was kind of like the next Harry Sullivan. Whereas, you know, they were in a weird way, they were kind of vying for the affection of Sarah Jane, even though they, you know, they weren't battling for her or stuff like that. But, you know, Jack was flirting with her, and the Doctor is like, you know, he's not a real captain. You know, those little things that were going off. The same thing with the Fourth Doctor and Harry. You know, Harry Sullivan is an imbecile type deals, and I think he also gives free range to the Doctor with Captain Jack to do the things that he can't do. He can't pull out the gun. He can't do this.
Side note, I always love the line where the Doctor basically is looking for Rose. He goes, blonde, about this high, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Literally just a girl.
I don't have a craving.
I don't have a craving. I was just like,
I just like that was, yeah, these things. I just like
took
those
2 slices.
Yep.
But this is one of those episodes I don't mind showing to people if they want to be the gateway. It's not one of my top episodes, but if I have time, I'll show these 2 episodes to somebody and say, listen, you're gonna love this. This is going to be one of those episodes that will bring you into the world of Doctor Who and the zaniness. It's a great, as you mentioned, it's science, it's time travel, it's the Doctor, and it's got the emotional thing going with Nancy and her kid, trying to survive this war, and it builds the stakes up. And I really love how this episode takes off. So 8.5 across the board is a perfect no, but I will tell people about this episode if you want a gateway drug in. I see no more pictures out there.
It's just got a satisfying ending.
It's just got a satisfying ending, and you just feel for the Doctor, who has the burden of destroying 2 races at the same time. At one point, he's like, "Give me this victory just this once." Dave, I know you have something. I see some new pictures that just showed up, and I also have the videos. So where do we want to go first, Dave?
You can do the videos. That is more on topic and more important.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a quick question.
Yeah,
Christian.
yeah, Mark.
You know the cat alert we have? Did you see the cat in this episode? So you know how we do the spoilers. You can grab the cat and do TARDIS cat alert without that little clip.
That's even better. Yeah.
I'll just throw it up there. Garlic cat. I just love garlic cat. So, speaking of which, yesterday, for those of you may not be familiar, we had Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day took place yesterday. Mm-hmm. I wanted to show this video to everybody. Full disclosure, because everybody thought I was in Maryland doing this, and I said no. I actually was in Maryland last October, and I got to. I had the privilege of going to Arlington National Cemetery and to see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So without further ado, I'm going to show you, and these are also on our YouTube channel if you want to check them out as well. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, as presented by our friends in the military, and see if you can catch the Traveling TARDIS in either one. I believe this video is where they were giving tribute to the Unknown Soldier. Here we go. And there's another video, if time allows, it's about 6 minutes long, but it's the actual changing of the guard out there, and it's really cool seeing. But I think everybody should at least at one point visit Arlington National Cemetery. This thing is huge. This thing is I thought I did not know how big this place was. You definitely need a tram to get around, and for the families of people who have fallen soldiers buried in those tombs, they will give you a tram ride to go out and visit your relatives. Chrissy has her grandfather out there, and she never got a chance, and she finally got to see his tomb. He was in the military services. So, all of our hats off to everybody who has lost their lives in the line of duty. If you notice the wreath, it says KIA, MIA, and POW, killed in action, missing in action, and prisoners of war. Yeah. So everybody, for those, yes, sir.
How big is it? Because you guys celebrate, or Remembrance Day, as we call it in England, in November.
Veterans Day for them.
Yeah, Veterans Day. But in Canada, as you, Dave, we do it in November, don't we? Yep. Yeah. Why do you guys do it in a different?
We have 2 days.
Yeah.
We have Veterans Day, which is everyone who's ever served, regardless if they came back or not. Memorial Day is those who killed in action.
Okay.
Or lost in action. Anybody died.
Killed, lost.
Anybody died.
Yeah. So that's why it's very faux pas to say Happy Memorial Day.
Okay.
That's
why we call it Remembrance Day, because our one's just one day. We don't have Veterans Day in the UK.
Yeah, same. I don't think anywhere in the Commonwealth does.
We just have a Remembrance Day to celebrate the people who fought in the Great War or World War One, and when it ended on the 11th month, 11th hour, 11th minute. Okay, so the 11th day of 11th hour, and literally the work would stop, and everyone goes into a minute of silence. So whatever day, wherever you were, you literally just stop for 2 minutes of silence in the UK.
We don't have a specific time frame in the United States that we do anything like that. The only thing I would say would come close would be the times for 9/11 in recent memory. Would be during 9/11 when planes hit. You'll notice people will be quiet or will have that moment, depending on when each plane hit a tower.
And do you guys have poppies as well?
Have what?
Poppies.
I think that's what you can.
Yes.
Poppies. Yeah,
We have poppies. We have poppies. It's not as big.
It's not as big
as over there, but we still have. You'll have different. You'll have like the people who will go out and you donate $1 or whatever. You can get the little poppy that's outside. If you're going to Walmart, stuff like that. It's not nearly as prevalent as it used to be. But it's definitely not nearly as prevalent as it is over when I went to. I was in London for the centennial, and I remember seeing how the tower the tower has the hue. I didn't see the poppies because that was the year before. I saw the centennial was flames, those little torches, flames all over the tower area and all that. That one I remember seeing.
I have more facts.
Okay.
Yes. Specifically, Veterans Day is our shared holiday with you. Veterans Day was something that was really you guys. We joined you in it through World War I and World War II. But Memorial Day was something that was started to help heal the rift of the Civil War. It's something that we started in 1868. So that's why we have two. We already had Memorial Day going back to the 1860s, having to do with the Civil War. And Veterans Day was something that we added 60 years later.
And what about you, Dave?
Same as Britain. We've got the poppies. It's November 11th. It's Remembrance Day, 11/11/11. Basically all of the exact same things.
So do you shut down for 2 minutes at work?
Yeah.
And could we have a Remembrance Sunday? So whatever the Sunday is closest to the 11th, we'll do the Sunday parade, where literally you have a 2 minute silence, and then you have a 2 minute silence on that 11th hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, literally.
Of course, the schools will do it usually on an off day because they did it because it is a legal holiday as well as just a form of remembrance. Contractually, a lot of places are closed and so schools and stuff will do their Remembrance Day ceremonies on a school day because it happens on a weekend too, but not that day. Usually the day before. But it is more or less the same as anything you would see at Memorial Day, anything you'd see at Remembrance Day in Commonwealth countries. I used to end up having to do most years of my adult life. I've ended up at tournaments of some sort. More recently, Quidditch / quad ball, and we would always take a break as well. Okay. At that time, there'd be immediate timeout just before, and do that. It didn't happen as much because, again, it's Veterans Day, not Memorial Day, so those tournaments didn't shut down when I was doing roller derby. But I did tend to take a few extra poppies down with me. For a couple of people that served down there, just as a way to spread that camaraderie. Yeah.
One of the other things which is coming more relevant is the different color poppies.
Yeah,
it's controversial. Like you have red for the people who fought in the war, who died in the war. Then you have the white, which is the victims of war, and you have purple, which is for war animals which died in the war.
Oh, that's cool.
The last two are not technically official. Those are the special interests that have somewhat co-opted the symbol for their own purposes, and not that they are not valid purposes, but they are often considered disrespectful, depending on who you talk to.
I guess, okay, fair enough.
The main one is still red.
Yeah,
in the UK,
and the actual image of the poppy is straight up a trademark thing of, at least in Canada, at least of the Canadian Legion. I assume
British Legion.
Well,
yeah,
we do have a slightly different design. That was one of the because I was there just before Remembrance Day when I came to visit you there, Mark. So I made very sure to get a British one to wear. Did not survive because they were paper, but
yeah.
It was very interesting.
I think I did have mine. I ended up getting a pin. I ended up spending and got like a little pin for that had the poppy on it, and because their y'all's poppies are different than our poppies.
Yes,
because ours is more of that kind of a flower kind of paper. It's not paper. It's more. I mean, it might be paper, but it's more.
Plasticky.
It's plasticky. It's more of a petal like this, and then it's got like the little stem that goes in that has the ball to be that, and you have the stem that comes out and then wrap around. We don't have like the flat kind of poppy paper design. It's a different kind of design. The best way to put it. I have kind of a fact-ish regarding. It's not really kind of. It is a fact. That's why they're called facts. In regards to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, there is no person in the Vietnam one. That person was identified, and right now they've decided to leave it unknown, so that way it becomes more of that crypt. No, not cenotaph. Yeah. I can't remember what happens when no one's buried in it. Memorial. But anyway, there's nobody in the three. One's supposed to be like for each of the different wars. I think it's supposed to be Korea, Vietnam, and then World War II. I'm trying to remember. Christian, you went there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but because I don't know which three it's supposed to be. But yeah, there's nobody. I know there's nobody in Vietnam because I remember my mom made it a big deal when they said they did, because we actually got DNA things these days and we can do that. One of the families, I think, petitioned to find out, and it was that person. So
I just remember you could have a whole day and never get through it. You could not get through the whole thing.
That's what I heard. Like Normandy is. If you go to the huge cemetery over in Normandy for both American and just everybody, the Canadian side, the American side, the British side, the Australian side, we found everybody who fought side.
You had to go to a computer.
Normandy. It takes forever. There is.
You had to go to a computer and you had to type in and find the tomb. And not only that, but I think the only other thing we did was there were a couple sites, like I think JFK's family's there. I think he and his wife are buried there.
Oh yeah, he's got
his house. Like there's like this big mansion in the back. You can't go to it, but you can see where all the Kennedy family is buried out there. This is going to be an odd thing. Melanie and Dave are going to take over. I've got to go. If you want to show the video, it's 6 minutes long, but you can show them the switching out of that. But I got one more announcement before I take off. Don't forget, on the weekend coming up, June 10th and 11th, we're not going to be physically there. We'll be virtually there. We'll be hosting a panel each day, so keep an eye out on the lookout for that as we work with them. We will be hosting via here on our StreamYard 2 different panels for Concast Cerberus. But if you happen to be in the area, it's taking place June 10th to the 11th at the Holiday Inn Research Park in Mid-City District, Huntsville, Alabama. ConcastCerberus.net is the perfect place to get the tickets. Unfortunately, they did have a last-minute cancellation. They lost Eliza and Eric Roberts. I am being informed, I have not gotten full confirmation that they have found a replacement for the 2 of them.
They've canceled due to work.
I think
work.
Filming?
Yes.
Filming.
So yeah, but they will still be having the convention, and of course, you want to geek out with all your Whovian friends over there in that area before this is the last run. But hopefully, it won't be the last run. We're hoping there'll be more, and we'll be involved with them if they do a regeneration, as Bonnie had mentioned in our last episode. So again, June 10th through the 11th, you can get your tickets now before the convention is completely gone.
If you are going, they also have a silent auction going on there. So you can go ahead and you can bid on a lot of amazing Doctor Who goodies. That is going towards, I've already forgotten the charity. It's in Madison. It's for puppies and kittens. So dogs and cats. It's a shelter. So it's a silent auction. All the things going there, all the proceeds for the silent auction is going to it. There's going to be autographs. There's going to be different Doctor Who kind of things. And I'm donating a little something to it, that if you were in the after party last time, one of the items that's going to be up for auction for donation is somebody's autograph. So if you've been wanting a David Tennant autograph, you can bid on this particular card. That's his autograph. So basically, this is it's a charity, and it's going to keep a charity. It's a charity benefiting a charity, if you want to say. So I donated to his charity eons ago in some place called Colchester. I don't know, something. I don't know, somewhere in England, in Essex. But it was the charity is his. He's a patron of. It's called Headway. So you donated, send money to them because I thought it was a good cause, and they sent in. Certain people got cards, and suddenly I got a card from him, and there's his autograph. So you can have this card's going to be on its way to Alabama. Donate, give from the heart. You can have David Tennant's autograph on this little card. The photo was taken by his wife eons ago. Also, see, look how youthful. Donate, help puppies and kittens in good old Alabama. So this will be sent over there. All the details will be on Concast Cerberus shortly. So yeah, this will be going in the mail and headed towards Matthew and Bonnie and the fine folks over there. So if you're going, go buy my old son David Tennant autograph. Go support some aminals.
Suckers.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get going, but the show is going to continue out over here. And plus, just an announcement, next week is going to be Kelly Yates, who actually will be at Concast Cerberus. Hey, man,
yes.
It's been a long time, Doctor Who at 60. What's up, Traveling TARDIS, folks? Yes, thanks for joining us. They're going to continue, so I'm going to leave the asylum running by the asylees. And Kelly Yates will be on next week. He will be at Concast Cerberus as well. So check him out, and we'll see you next. Oh, I'll see you next Tuesday. And don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Everybody, take care of yourselves, and I will see you later. And don't forget to let Tony write us out. So talk to you later.
Do not click end broadcast, Christian. Do not click it. Just
I'm hitting leave studio. It's leave studio.
Leave
so everybody
studio.
take care of yourself.
You know he would do that.
Does anyone else feel like we've been in an episode of Columbo? It's like I'm gonna be leaving now.
I know.
But before we do, just one more thing.
One more thing.
One more thing.
Well, just one more thing.
One more thing.
One more thing I talk about.
All right, one more thing.
You did it.
That's the red poppy and purple poppy. which is
I like
for
it.
the war animals.
Oh, I like that.
So what I would recommend to stop controversial, always wear your red poppy, always. And if you want to wear a second colour, then that would be your choice. But always make sure you wear your red one first. That's just my personal opinion. You don't have to, but that's
Yeah, it's funny. It's like
how
over
I
here,
feel.
whenever I'm looking around for poppies, sometimes I could just never. It's not as prevalent over here to find poppies as it used to be. So I'll just wear my brick one because it's a pin and it's poppy and it works.
Yep.
It's like a memory.
Up until this past year, I had a permanent metal one from the Veterans Affairs office, and it finally, because it did not have a permanent locking back on it.
Oh no!
So it finally
went
got
by
caught on something while I was traveling. So gone.
Says I'm trying to think where. I know I put mine somewhere safe, but do you think I remember where that safe place is?
So
No.
we at this point we have a couple of options. First, we will say hello to Doctor Who at 60 and Blonde. Hey,
hello.
Hello. What's up? We're just in the after party. We've gone for almost 2 hours. You can always rewind after the fact. So because we are getting close to that 2 hour mark, and I don't have that much time left, we've got a couple of ways we can go through. I know we want to watch that 6-minute video of the changing of the guard, because that is, no matter where that is being done, that's kind of just a cool thing to watch. Or I was going to show off Oros. I don't have to do that by any stretch. It is no way on topic. And Kristen was just like, "Oh yeah, do that." Okay, so I left it set up.
Okay.
If you want to, I'll show it just as I ramble. Bloop. I built a special. Yeah, that doesn't work very well. That's okay. So yeah, this is Oros. I won't show it off too much. Nope, that's not the one I needed. There we go. I've got it set up for solo mode with 2 Automa there. The map moves, action selection, little territory control. That's all I'll do. But I have been doing some streams of this over on my YouTube and my Twitch. There's the cover. You were playing Demigods. I do like that they have very much intentionally mixed and matched the cultures. So they haven't, appropriated a culture. They have basically taken elements of all of the different cultures from around the world and squashed them together.
As demigods like to be.
Yes, exactly.
Together.
But if you want to check that out, you can definitely, for the next few days at least, we'll be still logged on my Twitch. But there's my YouTube. If you go into the live sections or the live playthrough sections, you will see a couple of the most recent videos there will be of me learning and making my way through this with different versions of setups. I may... ? or may not ? Do one more stream before I pack up and head to Calgary. I'm just not sure when I'm doing that or if I'm going to do that. So if I don't do it in the next few days, it'll be a little bit longer. But yes, good night, Andrew. We want to go out with the changing of the guard? What do we want to do?
I'm ready just to go. I don't think I don't have to watch 6 minutes of a very solemn moment right now. I witnessed it yesterday. I went to Bay Pines.
And as Kristen said, it is up, I think, on our YouTube. If not, go look it up on somebody else's YouTube because it is definitely out there. And it is an important and interesting, study of military tradition as much as anything.
So was the show when you're trying to listen to how many stripes somebody's supposed to have on a coat.
Yes. As an interesting aside to that previous discussion, Canada still has the St. Edward's crown on a lot of our stuff. Obviously, that will change, but we don't know yet is if they'll be changing it to the King's crown or if they'll be changing it to the Crown of Canada.
Right.
Because there is a separate Crown of Canada that does not exist in physical form.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think.
Yeah.
In the hearts of every Canadian?
No, it's actually got a snowflake instead of a cross at the top. It does have a bunch of different elements that are very different.
So you telling me that you won't be an ice queen, Dave?
Yes. No, I am not. But Queen Elizabeth does have some of her on some of the coins and stuff do actually have a variant of the Canadian crown.
Is it sad that I didn't think fully? I knew the money's going to have to change in England, but I did not even think about everybody else that has the Queen on their monies. I didn't even think about it. That was like, oh, Belize, they got to change their money.
And the passport's going to change as well.
Yep, passport's already being redesigned here.
Everything's got to change.
The Canadian passport is the first out of even out over. I don't know if Britain showed off their new version, but I think Canada may actually be straight up the first redesign in the Commonwealth.
This man said, "I gotta go," and he's back on you. He's on YouTube watching.
Yeah, of course he is. Thanks, Christian.
Go away, Christian. She wants to pay.
Thank you.
But no, this has been a fun time, everybody. Next week we have, as you said, we have an artist coming on. What are we doing? Sorry.
What are we doing Thursday?
Thursday,
Maybe.
To be determined. Keep your eyes on the feed. There may be a very special off-schedule episode coming out on Thursday. We're just in some negotiations on that.
The importance of subscribing, y'all. We might have to jump in and do another episode on Thursday. So if you want to join us live,
hit that bell, yo.
Seriously.
And if we do that, I might actually also run a stream after the fact of playing some Worlds Apart.
Big hint.
That would move. Is it? Even if we don't do an extra episode, I might do that. But and that will be exclusive over on our assorted Twitch channels. Since Mackenzie Floor is a Twitch affiliate, she cannot contractually broadcast live across multiple platforms. Last time we did this for our after party, or half of the after party, because apparently Melanie kept going.
We were having a grand old time. It was awesome. We were like, do you want to go? I don't know. Do you want to talk about Doctor Who and other stuff? Yeah, why not? We stayed on for a whole half hour. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We
we're like,
we heard the bits and pieces of it.
Well, yeah. Also, the fact of going, I think we're actually pulling from their audience. If they were thinking they're going, I'm like, no. We're just gonna the thing's still down there. They know where to go if they want to leave.
It's true. Some people jump between the two, especially because it was quick. You could easily do that. Tom being one of them.
He's like, I'll watch them both. I'm like, yay! Let us know what's going on.
And Mark, yep.
And Mark. They're like, but yeah,
but we are trying to do those at least initially exclusively through Twitch, and then sometime in the few days after, we'll re-upload a 2-hour cut of that, and we're probably going to keep it as a 2-hour cut because that's the most we can re-upload to StreamYard to then bounce it out across everything else. If we want to do a full-size one, we could do that theoretically just on YouTube separately, but it is easier to cut it down. So yes, there's lots of fun stuff coming on Thursday.
Possibly.
Lots of fun stuff coming next Tuesday. And we've got another guest the week after that too, I think. I think Kristen's got someone lined up the week after that too.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Watch this space.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. He doesn't tell me.
Yeah. And then I know I'll be off in Columbus at Origins Game Fair the week after that. Whether I will be able or not able to join in the stream on that Tuesday, I don't know. That's the day I'm scheduled to arrive there. But I'm probably going to be driving it because flights are not that much less time in the airport and in the air, and twice as much as driving the 28 hours.
28 hours?
28-hour drive.
See, yeah, there's a cutoff for me. It's 4. If it's more than 4, I'm not driving. And
the longest flight options was 20 hours and was going to cost $1,000.
Mr. UK over there, they hear anything more than 20 minutes, they like to cringe. They clench up.
Melanie, have you heard my summer plan? driving from
It's not your
Canada,
road trip.
Calgary
I just know
to
you guys are
Nashville
Okay, that's not.
to Richmond,
My
Virginia.
husband was just there.
To New York City, to Prince Edward Island,
Okay,
to
seriously.
Toronto,
Do you rent
Indianapolis, LA.
Do you rent a car? Or are those miles going on
God
your
no.
car?
God no.
I don't know if you want.
This is
I
my
don't know
car.
I don't
No,
know.
that would cost
wild
a
you are with your own
freaking fortune.
transmission.
No, that would cost a bloody fortune.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why you get the unlimited mileage. But I'm just thinking is how many freaking transmissions like.
Yeah, it is what it is. This one's a longer than usual. I'll be on the road for 6 weeks, but I got asked to go shoot a band in Hollywood, so I'm like,
just saying,
yeah,
you need to get yourself a credit card with points and miles, and you could rack that up.
But the thing is, that all
Let
of
him
those
be,
are
woman.
in the middle of all that too.
See, I've got a companion pass with my Southwest, which means anywhere I go, I bring +1 for $5.40. Or I just use Delta and I just fly free up a lot of places because I'm miles.
Yeah.
Miles.
And some I will. Like next year, I might fly down for either Pensacon or MegaCon again. That I'm going to fly.
Yes.
Because it's just a 1 in, 1 out.
Okay.
And Columbus is just a straight up a matter of it's a potentially 20 hours, not counting all the crap in the airport, or 28 hours to drive, and the flight is twice as much money.
See, for me, I will drive anywhere in my state within reason. And I say that when it comes to Panhandle, we have now moved to the 5 hour to 6 hour mark. We will find and eat. Silver Airways was flying that way back there and back, $60 each way. Yes, here's my here's my credit card.
If if I could get a flight to Columbus for $60, I'd be on that.
And not Frontier.
This sounds really strange, but if I drove for 36 hours, I could go through about 7 different countries.
Yes, you could.
Yep.
You absolutely could.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the whole of Europe is mainland Europe it's North America.
Yep.
More.
I'm Chris. I'm not quite going as far east as the Newfoundland time zone, but I am basically almost, other than Newfoundland, as far east in Canada as I will be able to go to LA. Like I'm going crisscross.
Do you have Nexus to get in and out of, or
I didn't. I wasn't traveling enough to warrant it.
Okay.
And then when I was, they weren't doing anything, and now it's
Nexus,
something like
by the way,
9 month.
Nexus is to cross the border back and forth, a little speedier. Sorry.
It's pre-clearance for basically everything. Canada, US. I may try it, but it's looking at a 9 month process, and they just changed the interview process. So Canada will still do ours as normal, but we have to book our US interviews through pre-clearance at the airport, which means you can only get there if you already have a flight. They've changed it, and that's not
because that's
better. But for those people who only ever drive, that's definitely not better.
No, see, I fly. See, for me, but then it's going to be different also because you're Canadian, so you're going to do what's right for within the options and things that you can get within your own government. For me, as an American, I have global entry because I fly maybe once. I used to fly out of the country a lot more, but with that comes TSA pre. Yep. And it lasts 5 years, and that is a damn godsend within the continental U.S., which means your shoes stay on your feet. Your belt doesn't really have to come off. You don't have to take things out of your bag. You don't have to take the little quart bag of fluid out of your bag. You just throw stuff on there. You're like, TSA pre-buy, y'all. I got my back. I got my check.
Yeah,
and
it's been a coin toss whether I do Nexus or I do global entry. And we'll
continue. You do global entry?
Oh yeah, I can do global. I can.
Okay, because I didn't know if that was just a U.S. thing or if that was a North American.
It also counts in Canada, and you can also do it through in Mexico. It's a continent thing, which would be why my boss keeps telling me I need to do it, because my boss, we have the wedding company that I contract with has offices in Mexico. Keeps threatening to send me down there, and then never doing it.
I came back. Walked off my plane, walked over to the area where global entry was 5 different kiosks.
Yep.
And it all just said, please look at your face, look at the screen. Like I looked at my screen. Thank you, Melanie. And I'm like, wait, what? And then also goes, Melanie. And I'm like, yeah, come on over. Do you have anything to declare? No. Did you do it? No. Bye.
Yep.
First of all, it did wake me up to how much facial recognition is just a common thing now everywhere. And I'm like, well, if you look at your phone and unlock screen, why am I surprised? But yeah, but although it's the future, but my God, I just went right through. It was so cool. My poor friend was just sitting there like, I'm going to be here for hours. And I was like, no.
Bon voyage.
Yeah.
Like, bye,
And that's the other thing is when I drive.
car.
When I
You get a
drive with
cruller.
Nexus, you can't use the Nexus if you have anyone else who doesn't have it.
Oh,
So
see, at least for
driving
me,
is
it was
less of
boarding
it.
party.
You can
Kevin
still
has
probably
it.
hand it to them along with your passports, but technically,
You're in a car. That's right.
Yeah. So you
I
may,
can let you.
yeah. If I'm driving alone, it doesn't matter. If I
Yeah,
drive
but
alone,
if
it's just
I'm-
beep, look at the camera, go.
You're in a car. Forgot.
Stop so they confirm that you're you and you're alone. That's about it. But if you have anyone else in the vehicle, then you have to go through all the same jumping through hoops as anything else.
No.
Made the mistake of having
No,
an
make us
orange
done.
on my seat when I went through last time.
Just
Yeah.
take it. I don't want it.
Yes, I got pulled over because of an orange.
You were bringing fruit.
I just hadn't eaten it yet and didn't even think about it.
My sister's pain point from 2 years ago is that she put jelly in her carry-on and she went to Borough Market and bought a bunch of like very fancy jellies. No, I take it back. She went to Harrods and got extremely expensive fancy jellies and she put it in her carry-on thinking, I'm gonna make sure it doesn't break. Sorry, ma'am, can't take that.
Do you mean jelly or jam?
She said it was jelly, so who knows?
It would probably have been jam.
She said it was jelly. It had to have been jam.
Jam has seeds and jelly doesn't. So, and it's the seeds that they have problems with.
Maybe.
Jelly in the UK is actually Jello, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But no, it was a jam. It was a fancy jam, and I know when I go to Borough Market, there's certain things like I'll get that I can't get anywhere else, and I make sure I pack that. I'll bring bubble wrap with me to make sure that my honey is nice and perfect, and I can bring it home.
And you just get random strangers to give you a box of chocolates as well.
I know. I'm still going through some of them chocolates, sir.
Have you started the blue bag yet?
Not yet. I'm kind of saving
Good
it for
night, Dan.
last.
So now we've just gotten to the point where we're just yapping.
Yeah,
So
we're just talking now, but there's still 6 people who are listening in. So.
it's true for some ridiculous reason. I do need to go as well.
Okay, fine. I guess we could stop.
And it's like 1:10 in the UK, but I'm still up.
You're still up. You don't care. You're like, roll the dice. Let it ride.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. As always, like, subscribe, share, all of those other social media things. If you want to find out more about Oros, go check out my page. What was that, Mark?
What are we on now? We're on Twitch, Instagram.
We are
Facebook,
on
YouTube.
Right now, we are on Twitter, which is kind of silly as far as a live streaming. We are live on Twitch right now. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on the Hanging with Web Show's YouTube channel.
Cannot do Instagram. Instagram does not have a streaming part. They can do live. You can then put it to a story, but it's got to be through.
But you have an account.
Yeah.
But I believe
we also
we do have an account there. Sci-Fi-Radio.com and Whovian Cosplayers of Florida also have us running as well.
So whatever network or social media you're on, share it with your friends.
Basically.
I heard TikTok as well. I don't know.
Yeah, TikTok.
Technically, I think we are technically on TikTok as well somewhere.
It's the royal we.
Yeah. All right. And then we will go over here. We'll go over here, find the video. And again, thank you all. Just do all the talkies as we as Tony plays us out. See you next week. Or on Thursday, possibly.